There we go. Good. So welcome everybody to the mirror exercise workshop. And I wanted to just congratulate you and say well done for claiming more support. I think I've met almost all of you. And I just really wanted to host this workshop just to give everybody like a hand with the mirror exercise. So it can be daunting if you don't have support. And it's something that took me a while to really master, right? Like the mirror exercise isn't something that I could have ever done on my own. It's something that I have support with my own coach, and I support myself with through doing the inner work every day. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is, well, what is the mirror exercise? Well, it's a 4-step exercise that you write down. It's something that you use to heal anything that's bothering you on your twin flame journey, in your reality in general too, not just with your twin flame. It works because of the fact that you create your reality. Like you're constantly creating your reality by what you're choosing inside and what you're believing in on the inside, and in your conscious mind and in your subconscious, right? So sometimes we don't know what we're choosing, and so we find out by experiences in our reality that may trigger us, like, oh my gosh, there's dog poop on my front lawn. Oh, that feels gross. Why does it feel gross? Well, it's annoying me, and it feels really disrespectful and gross, right? So those sorts of things as triggers come up, or my twin flame isn't talking with me, or my twin flame, has bad breath, or whatever it is on the outside, that's reflecting something going on within. The mirror exercise works to bring you into your heart, into your conscious mind, into your subconscious, and it brings love to the place that's hurt on the inside. It is 4 steps, and best place to find it is in this book. I know Hugh likes this book. I know all of you have this book. Hugh did a really wonderful book review. Hugh, who is here. I'm going to read, I lost the page there for a second. 4 steps, and they're written down. Definitely I say to write it down, write it down, write it down. Like 7 times they say that in the book. Okay, step 1, describe in 1 concise sentence the upset you're experiencing. Step 2, write the sentence all over again, but switch all the nouns to pronouns to point to yourself. Ask yourself, step 3, is there any truth to this statement? The answer is always yes. Step 4, speak to the part of yourself causing the upset and love yourself until you experience peace, relief, and completion within. Do the visualization exercise to further this healing if need be. So we're going to go into each of those steps in this workshop. But to kind of like set us up, I just want to show you, just to kind of give you like a glimpse into my life. I write down every single one of my mirror exercises. If I don't write it down, it's going to feel really uncomfortable, and I'm going to like let my mirror exercising pile up like dirty laundry. But here's my journal. It's really pretty. It's like gold. You guys know that I might like golden stuff. So I bought myself a beautiful journal this month. This is from February actually. So I go through about one of these a month. About how much I write, right? So sometimes I need to like get clear on my upset. So we're gonna go into like step 1, getting clear on your upset. So when you're working with a coach, if I'm your coach, we might get clear together, we might talk through it. But if you're by yourself, you're going to maybe write some stuff down in your journal to get clear on the upset. So for example, like, let's take really easy example, like dog poop. This actually happened to me. I was walking outside to take out my trash and like, what the heck? There's like literal chunks. I'm sorry if this is gross, but there were like literal chunks on the sidewalk. And I was like, what the? That is so gross. And I was like, gosh, okay, nothing happens, without a reason. Everything makes sense. There's something that is being brought to me by this experience. It's like, what is that? And so I had to write it down. I was like, all right, I'm upset because a dog pooped on the sidewalk. I'm upset because I pooped on myself. That doesn't sound really good. Remember, you change all the nouns into pronouns and point at yourself. Then you go deeper. You get clear on, okay, you ask yourself, Jeff said this in a comment under someone's post. He's like, get clear on the upset. Ask yourself, why do I feel this way? What is causing me to feel this way? What is underneath this feeling, right? What is the thing that I'm really upset about here? What is this showing me? Okay, so the poop was like disrespect. It was just kind of like trashing, like saying, it was devaluing me. It was like, I deserve that. And so that was my upset. That got really clear. So I rewrote my step 1. And I was like, I'm upset because I don't value myself. I disrespect myself. That was step 2. Excuse me, I skipped ahead. I'm upset because the dog and the owner didn't value me and disrespected me. Okay, got clear on that upset. Step 2 is easy. You just switch all the nouns to pronouns and point them at yourself. And then you heard that I'm upset because I don't value myself and I disrespect myself. That makes a lot more sense. That feels, yeah, I got it. Okay. So another place you can get hung up in step 1 is being afraid of projection guilt. And I don't see anybody here that I know has this issue, but I'll say it anyway. In the spiritual community that we're in, we're pretty self-aware. Like, we've done a lot of inner work, and a lot of us have been in other like spiritual communities before, and we know that we're not supposed to point the finger and blame someone. They're being a jerk. Oh, oops, I shouldn't say that. So in the mirror exercise, especially with regard to your twin flame, it's important to point the finger at them to get really clear on the upset. So let's say that you're kind of sort of mad at your twin flame, you're not talking with them. I don't know, and I don't want to talk with them. Why not? Well, I don't know. I guess I must be doing something. There's a tendency to shoot straight into step 2 or 3. Oh, yeah, sure. You want to be a really good spiritual student and go to, master the mirror exercise. That's good. But in order to master it, you have to point the finger first to get a really clear step 1. Okay, well, why do you feel bad about your twin flame? What's going on here? Okay, I don't like when they get mad and harass me. Oh, okay, they get mad and harass you. There it is. Okay, so I'm upset because my twin flame gets angry and harasses me. Okay, now you can do step 2. I'm upset because I get angry and I harass myself. Okay, so it is really important, and no one's judging you. You've got steps 2 through 3 to go through. It's really important to point the finger in step 1. Of course, you don't stop. You don't just point the finger. They're being a jerk. You go through the rest of the exercise. But just trust yourself that you're going to do that. And if you're just writing in your journal or talking with your coach, no harm done. Even if you're talking to your twin flame and you're like, you're just being a jerk, go mirror it, right? Guilt is not helpful to anyone. Is there I think that's all that I wanted to share about step 1. Is there anyone that has a question about it? Wants to share any tricky places where you've got stuck or want support with step 1? All pretty good? Okay, cool. So going into step 2, step 2 is probably the easiest to talk about, because step 2, you really change all the nouns into pronouns pointing at yourself. So there are a little bit of, like, just to give you a sense, to kind of help you out, like, you might need to do a little bit of like step 1 again to get clear if step 2 sounds funny. So in my dog poop example, I'm upset because the dog pooped on the sidewalk. To mirror that, you wouldn't say I'm upset because I pooped on the sidewalk. You'd point all of the nouns at yourself. I'm upset because I pooped on myself or whatever. Okay, that sounds funny. I'm going to keep going, right? So it is important to change all the nouns to pronouns pointing at yourself, and try not to change too much of the rest of the sentence. The verbs, the action in the sentence, you keep them. But it's just the nouns into pronouns pointing at you. Here's an example of one of my step 2s from this morning. I'm upset. I can't remember what my step 1 was. Oh, yeah, I see my step 1. I'm going to keep that private. Here's my step 2. I'm upset because I'm not with myself, or I'm shutting myself out, and I'm choosing to separate from myself. Right? So somebody did this on the outside. It's not saying that they didn't do that. They certainly did do that. But it's showing me where I'm doing that within myself. And so I went to step 3 and then step 4. Yeah, good. So any questions about step 2? Pretty clear? Why do you think it's important to write it out as opposed to trying to do it in your head?
You feel it more? Mm-hmm. It's Larissa, by the way.
Hey, Larissa.
Hi.
And you process it like a bit more, and it makes you think a bit more in depth. Mm-hmm. Yeah. When I don't have paper, is it okay to use like your phone and write it down on your phone?
Absolutely. Yeah, phone, computer, paper. One of my friends, another coach, Anastasia, had her mirror exercises typed up so she could like go back through them. I personally like a good old pencil and paper. Some people get like fancy pens. I have fancy pens too. And I have these like really cool gel pens. And then when I'm feeling like I just need to be a queen, I've got my diamond pen, right? Make it fun and make it something that's really important and special to you, however you do that. If you're in the middle of jumping out of an airplane with a parachute, you obviously cannot take your pen and paper out like, step 1, I'm upset because the guy behind me smells bad. You know, you're not going to do that. Also, the reason that you write it out, and Shaleia says that she wrote it out for a year, and by the way, I'm sorry if I hurt some of your ears with my like demonstration. Shaleia says she wrote it out for 1.5 years, and that's our spiritual teacher. Like, writing it out and having support with it is also really important. It helps to break it down, because a lot of times your mind can go off and noodle in all these directions. And I have gone down Arrogance Boulevard and tried to do it in my mind for a while, and it did not work, because my mind would try to like game the mirror exercise and shoot off in all sorts of directions. Yep, that's why you write it down. Okay, so we're going to move into step 3. So step 3 is the part where we can get stuck, but it can also be very easy. So step 3 asks, is this true? The answer is always yes. Sometimes I think when people get stuck, when I get stuck in step 3, I'm like, I can't see where I do that. Where do I sabotage myself? Or in the upset that I brought up, shutting myself out. Where do I shut myself out? I certainly don't feel like I shut myself out. Why would I do that to myself? These are some of the things you can say to prevent you from really healing. And so if you notice yourself kind of spinning in step 3, like like I was just demonstrating, like, I don't see that. It sometimes you can't see precisely where you're doing it. You have to just trust that you may be doing that. You may be doing something within yourself. You are, basically. You have to trust that. Sometimes you can see it. So Jeff and Shaleia gave like a whole example, a whole page of example of where you might do things to yourself. So basically, I'll read this page to you. It's on page 86. So let's say that you've healed the block of like, my twin flame won't talk to me. How am I not talking with myself, or how am I not communicating with myself? Perhaps you ignore your needs, you ignore your intuition, you ignore putting up a healthy boundary with yourself and others, you ignore listening to yourself, you ignore your sexuality, your sexual needs, your creativity, your spirituality, your divine guidance, and signs that come through you and other people and situations. Your beauty, intelligence, and power, your inner child. You ignore what your finances are telling you. Okay, and then this part is bold. So you're somewhere not cultivating a loving relationship with your divine self / God. One of the things that your twin flame does is they reflect your relationship with the divine, with God. And so if your twin flame is doing anything, look at how you're relating to God. Look at whether you're just relating to God over here and ignoring this part, and just check all of those places. Don't spend too long here, because Jeff and Shaleia also say that, when you notice that you have a thorn in you, you don't examine the thorn, you just pull it out, right? So step 3 can be tricky, but just surrender and trust that whatever is being reflected to you is showing you something. When I did see the poop outside, I was like, okay, just worked on respecting myself, and here it is again. So choose to feel your feelings and choose to heal, and just choose to trust that you spot it, you got it, right? When you see it on the outside, it is something for you to heal, and it will keep coming back around until you heal it. Don't worry, you get infinite chances. Any questions about step 3 or comments about places you may be getting stuck in step 3?
Yeah, sometimes step 3 can be a bit like, the latest upset I had is one of my mom's cats, like she's got some sort of lymph nodes. I don't know, we don't know if it's serious or not, so she's gonna go to the vet. But basically I've had probably in my 20, I've basically lost 3 cats. From one passed away from cancer, we found out it was too late. The other one had autoimmune, and then the last one had polycystic kidneys, and he lived the longest. But basically it's like I keep attracting this, that my pets keep getting sick, and the upset is that my cat is sick. And the thing that came up was I'm upset with myself that I'm sick, and I've have this gluten intolerance and carb intolerance and all of that. So I'm just getting a bit, or is it like codependency, or is it trying to like hold on to the cats as outside of me or something? Because the upset is that they don't live long enough.
Yeah, well, how do you feel about that?
It just doesn't, it feels sad.
You feel sad?
Yeah, I feel sad about it, and like there's a frustration that I keep attracting that pattern, and whether or not she might get better and all of that, it just seems to repeat either in a milder way or a more extreme way. And yeah, it does feel like it's like I'm upset because I've got a chronic illness and because I haven't healed it yet.
Okay. Yeah, so what you're experiencing is something that is a more challenging spiritual block, which is with someone who knows the mirror exercise very well and understands that you create your reality, right?
Yeah.
So what you're getting stuck with is going into analyzing the mirror exercise rather than feeling your feelings first, and just going straight into the feeling, and that will help you. So I'll help you here. So let's go back to how you feel. You said you felt frustrated?
Frustrated and sad, kind of like a little bit stuck.
Good. So let's stop there. Is that okay? Okay. So what's really important, I didn't mention this too much, is that the mirror exercise is done in your heart space, in your feelings. And so because Daria is a very seasoned student and she knows the mirror exercise very well, she knows where it goes. Like, she knows the pathway of the mirror exercise. But what we're all doing is we're using it to go deeper in our heart. So that's why we stopped at the feelings. So you said you were frustrated and sad and stuck.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So let's use the mirror exercise with those feelings. So I'm upset with my cat because they make me feel frustrated, sad, and stuck. The illness, right? That's what it makes you feel like.
Yeah.
Good. So I'm upset because I make myself feel frustrated, sad, and stuck.
Yes.
Okay. Do you see where you might do that? Where you're getting frustrated with yourself, you feel stuck within yourself?
Yeah. So this is actually something, something that I've had for a while, and I wasn't. It's like the feeling is that I'm doing this inner work, and we know it heals everything, and it's like I want to be healthy now. I want to be able to eat what I want now, and it's got to a point where I like pretty much eat once a day because I digest food so slowly, and it just feels and the sadness is, it actually almost feels also like kind of a separation from humanity. I can't go out and eat whatever I want, and it kind of restricts me. So that's actually a stuck feeling. Yeah.
Okay. So let's go back and into that stuck feeling and just stay present with it as we continue forward. Yeah. Good. So you feel like you don't have your divine health. You feel stuck there. Good. Okay. So we're gonna go into step 4. We haven't talked about it yet. Step 4 is the place where we're going to do some visualizations. We're going to go straight there, and we'll talk about it when we're complete. So do you see this part of you that feels really stuck in her health, feels like you don't have your divine health?
Yes.
Good. So what do you need there to feel loved right now in this moment?
I need to feel supported. And I think all the feeling is like, I feel like I need like faith, maybe more faith to know that this will work. It's like something that I feel that it does, like I definitely improve, but I don't see the result. And I'm
sure. So let's go back into your heart, and you feel that feeling where you don't feel like you have your divine health right now, like it's somewhere outside of you in the future.
Yes.
Okay, good. Can you bring that divine health to yourself right now in your imagination? Reassure yourself that you're in fact perfectly healthy, a perfect creation of God, created in divine perfection, including your health. And give that feeling of perfect, pristine health to yourself right now. All those sicknesses and ailments, you can just give those to God. They're not outside of you. Can you imagine letting God come into your heart and healing you?
Yep. Okay.
Showing you that you're perfect, you're healed already. How does that feel in your heart?
It feels better. There's still this kind of, it's like a lack of trust in God.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, it feels like I'm too young to have these problems, and
Yeah. Do you recognize that these problems are created with your what you're choosing?
Yeah, definitely.
They're real in the physical world, of course, and you address them, but do you recognize that in some way you're choosing them somewhere deep inside? You're choosing to believe in illness and sickness, and that's what's manifesting, right?
Yes, and well, I manifested them by holding on to upsets and numbing out and all of
Sure.
that.
Yeah, you're right. But we're just talking about in this moment, right? Is there anything actually in spiritual truth wrong with you?
No.
Yeah. Does
No.
God see any illness inside of his creation?
No, it's an illusion, but
Yeah.
once
So,
yeah.
sure. So what do you need from God here in this place where you don't trust? What do you need?
I need to know that I can trust, like reassurance.
Good. Reassurance. Perfect. Can you reassure yourself here? Imagine bringing all the reassurance you need. How do you feel here?
A little bit more relaxed, but there's still a bit of like a slight bit of nervousness. One of my patterns that I've actually still working through is the attachment to the upset.
Mm-hmm.
And like all the upset.
Great. Good. So I think it's really a good time for us to go into step 4, and this is going to help you because we'll keep going with you through your upset until it's complete, because that's what we do. So for those of you who are just starting the mirror exercise, what Daria is doing is she's going deeper, she's loving herself, and then she's noticing, okay, it doesn't feel complete, and she keeps on going. And we're going to do that, but I just want to pause here. Step 4 has been like, it is the healing. Just the place where you get to step 4, it is the healing. This is where you go into your heart and bring yourself the vibration of love to dispel all of the illusions of fear. And this is the place where you're one with your twin flame. So how to do this? Some people, when you ask the part of you what it needs to feel love, sometimes this feels really abstract. Like, what is that? What does that mean? Use your imagination. I'm going to read an excerpt again from the book, and it is on page 99. So when you go to the part of you that's hurting, you ask the part of you what it needs to feel loved, and it's always going to tell you. And you do it in your imagination. You give yourself whatever it needs in your imagination. Maybe you hold that part of you as if you're talking to yourself as a child. You really do imagine this, right? Use your imagination to imagine holding yourself or telling yourself that you deserve love, reassuring yourself. Bring in Mother, Father, God, however that looks to you, right? Huge, giant archangel, big buff dude, or like very beautiful princess, motherly God, or a unicorn, a dragon, whatever you need to bring that feeling to you in your imagination. And here's why that works. One of the psychological and physiological benefits of the visualization step of the mirror exercise is that it's been scientifically proven that the brain does not know the difference between what you see and experience in the physical world and what you see and experience when you utilize your visualization and imaginative faculties. The deep truth of this science actually has a major impact on your health and healing, because you can literally go back in time and heal your childhood by giving to yourself what you didn't have back then. Your brain and consciousness will react like your perfect childhood happened because you are giving yourself your perfect childhood, and healing will occur because the synaptic pathways in your brain will begin to rewire toward positivity, happiness, and well-being, rather than depression, anxiety, and other mental and psychological imbalances. Okay. So it is really important to surrender to the healing, to the visualization and imagination step in step 4, and really focus on loving the part of you that's hurt. So very good. So Daria, would you like to take us deeper and keep going? So we're gonna, because we stopped and talked, we're just going to just go back and just talk about how you're feeling now. What's come up in your heart since we talked?
It's the same, similar. It's like trust. Like, can I actually have perfect health? Because I was actually born sick, and I had so it's previous lifetime probably, because I had epilepsy as a baby up until I was about 8, and I just grew out of it. I've never had seizures since. And the gluten thing I got like a few years ago, so it just felt like I sort of had something. And I've never lived like completely healthy, and I guess this is like maybe struggling to believe it's real, kind of like with the Twinflame. Can I have this?
Yeah. Yes, you have an issue with faith, trust and faith. Yeah. Good. Okay. So your cats are just kind of like showing you this upset, same exact upset. You've identified it. Okay. Good. So let's go straight through the mirror exercise with it. So when you have trust and faith, that you're having trust and faith blocks, who are you, like, what's step 1 here? Where would you point the finger?
I would say that God is not there for me, because, and this is where it kind of feels like, yeah, I'm looking at God the wrong, like I'm expecting him to rescue me without.
Sure, you're doing the thing going straight into step 3. So let's just remember to stay in the steps. Keep them nice and neat. And don't worry, Daria, you're not the only one who does this. Okay. So you're just carrying the torch for all of us, right? Okay. So I'm upset with God because he's not there for me. Any other upsets? Don't worry, you're not going to hurt God.
And I would say, by the looks of it, like those I love, or like my animals, like I feel like, yeah, it feels like a never-ending pattern. Like I keep losing pets to some illness pretty soon, even though obviously I don't live as long as we do. It just seems some kind of drama there always.
Okay, so, okay. I wrote down some of your words. I'm going to read them back because I put them together. I'm upset because God is not there for me or for those I love. I added this word, God is neglectful. Is that kind of what's going on, right?
That's how I feel.
Okay, neglectful, and lets there be drama.
Yeah.
Okay, great. God is not there for me or for those I love. He's neglectful and lets there be drama. Does that feel pretty complete in step 1?
Yeah.
Ooh, guess what we're going to do next? Okay, all right, here we go. I am upset because I am not there for myself or for those I love. You can just scratch that out. I'm not there for myself. Remember pointing all at yourself, right?
Yeah.
I am neglectful and I let there be drama in my life. Right. Okay. So I'm upset because I'm not there for myself. I'm neglectful and I let there be drama. Is that true? We're in step 3.
It's definitely true.
Okay. Yeah. And so let's talk to this part of you. We're going to go into step 4 and kind of hang out there. So are you willing to do some imagining?
Yeah.
Okay. So just close your eyes, and everybody can do this in their own way. Go to the part of you. Just imagine this duplication of yourself, this other Daria who is neglectful of herself. Maybe she doesn't love herself fully. Maybe she focuses on fear. Let's just go talk to her. So do you see her in your mind's eye?
Yes.
Good. And what's she doing? Where is she hanging out?
Well, it's like she's, and this is something I've noticed recently, it's like she's punishing herself with the upset. Like there's some self-sabotage there. One of the things that stood up really clearly, what I don't do it anymore but did for a long time, when I first got the gluten intolerance, I would go gluten-free and I would eat gluten-free carbs, but they would make me bloated. Sure. And I kind of just ignore it. Okay. And I didn't, it was like I was resisting what was dealt to me. So
Good. Okay. Well, let's go back into your imagination in the visual part of it. And what is this part of you doing? So you said she was kind of, what kind of activity, if you're looking at yourself in this place where you're being neglectful of yourself, not there for yourself, what are you doing in this scene?
Coming up is not fully feeling my feelings and not giving myself all the love that I need, kind of
Okay.
having some kind of a bit of resistance to loving myself.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what kind of clothes is this person wearing?
I haven't thought of that.
Yeah, we're really getting a visual here.
I'm kind of just imagining her like what I'm wearing now, like just a duplication. But
very good. Good. Okay, so can you go up to this part of you, tap her on the shoulder, let her know that you're there?
Yeah.
Okay, good. How does that make you feel? Does it feel good? Bad?
It's a bit of hope coming up, like, yeah, like she doesn't feel as stuck. It doesn't feel like she has to keep running the pattern, because sometimes we feel like we can't get out.
Yeah, because you're there with her, you're present with her.
Yeah.
Good. Can you ask her what she needs to feel loved and just see what she tells you?
She needs support, like complete support.
Good. Do you choose to give that to her?
Yeah.
Good. Where do you get that support from? Comes through you, but where does it source?
God.
Good. You choose to give her all of God's love?
Yeah.
Good. Take a moment to do that. Really bring all of God's love to her in this moment.
There's actually a part of her that resists it, but she feels like she's not worthy. A lot of it's support.
Good. Okay. Good. So she's resisting because she's not worthy. Good. We're just going to keep it really simple. Do you see the part of you that feels like she's not worthy?
Yeah.
What does she need to feel loved?
She needs to know that she is.
Good. Can you tell her that? Reassure her. Let her know that you love her. She's worthy of love. How does that feel?
It's better.
Good. What still feels bad?
It's a little bit like it's just like a slight, like, nervousness, reservation.
Yeah. What are you holding on to?
Because I don't know what it looks. It does feel like it feels like, because I don't know what it's like to feel that, and almost like I don't trust I can fully feel something like that, because I haven't seen a lot of the stuff I haven't seen. Right?
This is where you get to choose to trust God versus not trust God. It is a choice.
Okay, choose to trust.
So do you want to take one step, take God's hand here? Yeah. You don't have to jump over a large ravine. You just need to take one step with God in faith. He loves you. You don't even have to do that if you're not ready.
No, I trust you.
Good. How does that feel?
Feels better. It feels better. And this, like, when these thoughts come up of doubt, I also have thoughts come up. Well, look how far I've come.
Good.
Love me, and He has been there for me.
Good. And so how does it feel to acknowledge how far you've come here?
That's good.
Reassure yourself. Very good. How does your heart feel? The ding. Good. My alarm on my phone let you know that you maybe have healed. Very good. So do you feel complete here? I know there's other things to mirror, but in this particular upset, how do you feel?
I feel good here. I think I'm just still, like, integrating. It probably will come up again for me to mirror, so that I
could be. Yeah, but in your case, there's still like a holding on feeling, and you can just let that go, like all of that go, and give it all to God. You want to do that right now?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Let this be as complete as you could possibly get it. There's no leftovers. And let it be enough.
Yeah, that feels good.
Very good. Here is your card. Hang on. It says, surrender your belief in scarcity. The universe is asking you to open to the infinite nature of abundance. In this way, you can remove blocks in your life and succeed beyond your wildest dreams. This doesn't just have to do with money. It has to do with love. So when you are loving yourself, and then there's like this kind of vacuum feeling, like, okay, I've loved myself, but there's still something, it's gonna mess up in the future. I don't have enough love, or if I only had that thing, then I'd feel good. This is the belief in scarcity. It's lack consciousness. It can do with love. It can do with money, anything, food. It's like the hungry ghost feeling. So you just surrender it. You don't have to try to pull this consciousness out of you. You give it to God. You surrender it. You say, I choose to be enough. I am enough. And I am worthy of love. I'm worthy of it all. And being content with where you are does give you everything that you need. You have everything that you need right now, including all the love you need. Very cool. Thank you, Daria.
Thank you, Leesie.
You're welcome. I wanted to talk again about step 4. I love step 4 because it is the imagination step. And I used to kind of sort of like talk to my inner child and like give her a hug. And I remember it was so cool. I have never played baseball before. I mean, okay, that's not true. In high school, I would play like t-ball. Like when you were a kid, they'd line you up and you'd hit the ball and run the bases around the middle school or high school, field. That's baseball field. There you go. But when I was doing a mirror exercise, when I was like really deep into my heart, into my feelings, because that's where you do it, I saw myself in a dugout and I was like, what am I doing? I was like a little girl and I had little pigtails and I had a baseball hat and I was like swinging and missing the ball all the time, getting really upset because I was practicing and I was swinging and missing the ball. And it was like this feeling that my imagination illumined with this scene of me swinging and missing the ball, swinging and missing the ball. And I ran up to this little girl and I just like said, honey, you don't need to hit the ball to be a winner. You're already my winner. And I just picked her up and hugged her because that's all she really wanted, was to be, the apple of someone's eye, my eye. And your imagination is crucial in step 4. It almost is like a meditation when you get into step 4, into your heart. Steps 1, 2, and 3, of all those steps, step 1 may take some time to get clear on your upset. 2 is real quick. 3 can take some quick, 2 seconds. You can hang out in step 4 all day. Keep giving yourself love and then ask, does that feel complete? And let your inner child talk. No, yeah, it feels mostly complete, but now I want this and I'm scared about that. And just let yourself talk just like a child, right? You hear children talk to their parents like, I'm scared of the monster under my bed. Okay, let's look together at the monster. There's no monster there. You feel safe? Yeah, but I need a hug, right? We're children. We're still children of God. We're just like that, right? So use your imagination to bring you anything you need. Some people were asking me about romance. Romance Attraction e-course, Jeff and Shalea's e-course, which is, by the way, on sale, gives you all the steps that you need to use your imagination to actually magnetize romance to you. And yes, you give yourself everything that you need. But because you're doing that, this is going to eventually, your reality will reflect what you've given yourself, right? You don't love yourself to try to get your reality to change. That's not understanding the mirror exercise properly. The mirror exercise is there so that you feel good, period. And as a natural result of feeling good, your reality shifts. Your twin flame, there, right? Your abundance increases and stabilizes, right? So mirror exercise is the tool that you need to heal anything in your life, especially with your twin flame journey, but it can be used for other things too. And the visualization step is really, really important. Some people use a bright white light. Some people like to primarily work with their inner children. In the book, Jeff and Shaleia talk about how Shaleia imagined being held and breastfed by a divine mother, where she felt like she didn't get enough as a child, right? So let your imagination go wild, right? Like, if you need romance, watch Romance Attraction, get ideas there, and use that. Use the techniques. Do it. Like, what have you got to lose? What you're doing when you're visualizing is you're bringing the feeling to your heart, bringing the vibration to your heart. That's where the healing occurs. So we have about 12 minutes left. Would anybody else like support or have any questions? Like to work through something?
Yes, I would like support.
You have your finger on the button, like.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah, I would love to support you. What's going on?
I'm moving through something that I've dealt with Mum for a long time, and I'm going to say he's my twin flame. Reflected this to me a couple of days ago when I saw him, and it was around the need to be around people, and then when I leave I feel alone. And it's the same thing that my mum reflects to me. Like, when I'm there it's cool, and then as soon as I leave she starts crying and begging me to come back, and then the next day I just get call after call and like it doesn't end. And so I that's
okay.
Yeah, that's it. And I can see it on both ends. Like, I'm doing it to my twin flame, and then Mum's reflecting that back to me as well.
Oh, that's very juicy. Good. So you've got a very clear terrain here. You've got a big roadmap. Good. You just want some support with it. Okay. So what would you say your upset is with your mom? Point the finger at her.
Well, it's around me not having enough time for myself.
Okay. So I'm upset at my mom because we'll get to the second thing you said, but we got to point at her first.
She's
calling you all the time.
Yeah, she's calling me all the time and wanting me to be around her all the time. So like a day off, she'll take a day off, and then I'm like, well, I don't want to be with her today. Yeah. I'm having a day off for myself. So I just feel like this pressure, and it's like it doesn't go away. It keeps coming back.
Mm-hmm. What's she trying to get?
She wants my company. She's alone.
Okay. Company. All right. And she's trying to get it from you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm upset because my mom is trying to get love from me.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So step 2 is going to sound funny, and I'll help you there. So what would step 2 be?
I'm upset with myself because I'm trying to get company with myself.
Yeah. It's going to sound funny, huh? Okay. So what this is a place where you're trying to source your love from your own blood. Like you think it comes from you, a person. But where does your love come from?
God.
Yeah, exactly. So where does your mom's love come from?
God.
Yeah. What about your twin flame's love?
God.
Yeah. And anything you want from him still also comes from God? Sourcing?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So we didn't need to change step 2 because you saw that, and we did a step 3 there, by the way. We didn't call it step 3, but we did. You saw that you were trying to pull love out of the source of it from a human being, from yourself or from your twin, right? But really it's a disconnect from God. Good. So if you want to go in your heart, you can. And you want to share something else?
Yeah, I was just going to say I do it all the time, like when I'm around people, and then I try and like go back and I'm like, I'll be my own company, but it's yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so part of that's true. Yeah, you are your own company, but to be a good source of company, we must go to the source of that company, and then with that love, that's where your own company makes sense, right? Because cut off, the illusion of being cut off from God, no one's getting anything from anywhere, right? God's necessary here. Okay, so are you ready to go deeper into your heart? Okay, good. You can close your eyes if you want, keep them open if you want. Do you see this part of you that just feels like there's not enough love, and like the love has to come from a person but it doesn't, and that feels bad?
Yeah, it feels like I'm not, like I can't give myself all that love.
Yeah, that's true. But do you choose to surrender to that truth that you yourself aren't the source of love?
Yeah.
Good. And so where do you get your love from again?
God.
Good. And do you choose to receive God's love here? Let him in, let him love you?
Yeah.
Good. Good. And what can you bring into your imagination that would make you feel that juicy feeling? What would God loving you look like?
Going to the spa.
Okay, good. Yeah. Would you like for God to give you a spa day? Bring you some towels and a robe?
Yeah.
Plumeria flowers, if you like them, or other kinds of flowers, your favorite flowers, in a hot tub.
Yeah. And a nice delivered dinner with God.
Good. Beautiful. Yeah.
Just hang out with him for a bit.
Yeah. Do you want God to be a dusty old man with a beard? Smells bad? Bad breath?
No.
No. What does the God of your imagination feel like to you?
Feels like an angel. Yeah, funny, an angel in a pool.
Very cool. Beautiful. Yeah. So once you opened up to letting yourself receive this love, how do you feel?
I feel full.
Good. You got people celebrating outside.
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
That's
yeah.
precious. Yeah. And so when one thing Shaleia says in the Romance Attraction e-course, she says, God is the love in which I love myself. God is the love in which I love myself. She repeats it 2 times because it's really important. What you did in your heart wasn't a pretend thing. That was real. You gave yourself that experience. You have to choose it, right? But the source of it, yes, it's within you, but it comes from God. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't create the world, or you didn't even create yourself, but you can choose to let God come through your imagination and give you whatever you need. So I go through this too. I still go through this. I feel needy with my twin flame. And then I pretend that I'm not feeling needy. No, I'm not needy. I'm an Ascension coach. I can't be needy, But I am. I still feel that. And then I go in and I give myself that experience. I watch a Romance Attraction e-course, or I I would have a spa day, or I'd have a romantic evening, or I'd, imagine my twin flame and I cuddling on the couch, for example. It's okay to do that. And
So it's
give
okay
yourself
to
that.
imagine being with them.
Yeah, well, you imagine an angel,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So why not your twin flame?
Okay.
Right.
Okay, cool.
It's okay. Jeff says this in a video, one of their older videos, like, if you need to receive a giant hug from your twin flame, do it. Like, bring that love to yourself, right? But it's about allowing. It's about letting yourself really bring that feeling to your heart that you're craving.
Okay.
It doesn't come from you, the human. Here's another really fun thing. So, imagination is energy. And that's another Jeff and Shaleia quote. I keep quoting them. I don't know why. I do know why, because I love them. But it's from the meditation CD. Imagination is energy. The meditation CD, 3 tracks, all visualization. The whole shebang. The whole thing. 30 minutes. This is what 30 minutes, I don't know. I don't know why I did this. 30 minutes of visualization. Why? Because it's the visualization that where you are utilizing one of the gifts of God. So God, in the Bible it says this, and I think in other places, created you in his image, right? The word image is there. And he put within you a breath of his spirit. So you have the divine capacity to use your imagination to heal, because that's what God used to create you. So imagination is a divine quality. It's not pretend. It's not child's play. It is real, and it is what God used to create the universe. So that's why human beings are endowed with this faculty. This is why it's so important to use your imagination to love yourself in the mirror exercise. So, would you like a card?
Yes, please.
Sorry, I was talking there for a while. Didn't forget. We're still there. Okay. Well, this is for everybody. Surrender the idea that you can fix someone.
Perfect. That is so perfect.
Yep. It's time for a relationship to shift. It doesn't work to try to fix someone. Each person must be accountable for his or her own healing. Sure is. You can always lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
And check this out. This girl is not gonna tie your shoe for you. She's like, you can watch me tie my shoe, but you gotta tie your shoe by yourself, girl. Yeah, that's the message that this brings to everybody. Good. We're about at the top of the hour. So does anyone have any questions? Oh, you're welcome, Hugh. Oh, we have another message too. Pooja says, hi, actually the mirror exercise really works. I did it and healed all my upsets, and my twin flame even called. But now I don't want him in my life. I'm confused. Oh, I'll just answer that. You're experiencing numbness, and work with, I think, Pooja, your coach is Madhu, if I'm not mistaken. Work with Madhu, because you're just going through healing codependency, and when you feel numbness towards your twin flame, there's just a place to go deeper within yourself and bring yourself that love. But don't worry if your feelings feel different, because you're simply moving from going from survival mode to healing codependency completely. So yeah. Good. Does anybody else want to say anything before we close? You're welcome, Pooja. All right. Thank you so much. I enjoyed spending time with you. It was a lovely workshop. Thank you, Daria. Thank you, Claire, for healing and for taking the group deeper. And I hope that this was really helpful for you. And I will see you next time.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.